Hello everyone. So this is me. I'm Stu. Pompey Blue, as some of you at card shows and that will know. I don't usually do videos like this, but today I don't have anything to show. I don't have any cards to flick through. It's just a little update for the channel and a wider perspective. It's going to be a short video, but if you wanted me to dive into it a bit more, I probably could do. But sport cards, I'm talking primarily football cards, especially football cards in the UK, but it is also transferable to America, I would say. I think it's a waste of time. I am a Pokemon collector. I say that as my primary card collecting, but I collect all sorts of shit. I've still got Pogs and Marbles from when I was a kid. I've still got Tazos and Kinder Egg toys when I was a kid. I'm a hoarder. I've done your vintage shoes, your designer shoes. I've done your designer goods. If anything that's got the potential of buying it, possibly going up in value, I like it. I'm not one who's going to smoke 20 fags a day and rot my bloody lungs. I'm not going to get pissed every Friday and Saturday night, get into a fight and rot my liver. I always gambled. Gamble. If I won, I'd buy shit that I can't save. That's my biggest issue. I can't save. This all leads me to, over the course of I'll probably say 2019, 2020, I came back to Pokemon cards after a 5-year break. My dad snuffed it, was in the shit money-wise. I said, oh, fuck it, stop collecting. Got back in 2019, all through COVID and that. And then it was the first card show I went to was last April, so we're talking 2023. And I have issues in the Pokemon community as it is, because there's a lot of fakeness in that. And there's a lot of the big people I don't associate with, I never would associate with. If I see them at a show, their tables, I just walk straight past. I've just got no interest in having any contact with them. That's another video that I could go into another time. But I was at the card show. I'm there to grade Mickey, again, Pokemon collector, but I had the Steamboat Willie card from Disney, which is a voice set of all things. And I'm looking at around the show, and your eyes are drawn to Maradona Auto, Pele Auto, Ronaldo Auto, Messi Auto. And I used to love football. I was a massive Man United fan. Then when Pompey went up, I used to go to my dad's every Saturday. Mum and dad divorced, listened to Pompey on the radio, got into being a Pompey fan. Obviously we had the highs of the FA Cup, the highs of Europe, and then we sunk all the way down. This season's been a good season. But you're there, and I used to do the sticker books. Dad used to buy me a couple of packs. Mum used to buy me a couple of packs. And I enjoyed the football stickers. And I'm walking around this card show for the first time thinking, oh shit, why don't I do this again? So I brought a few bits. I brought a couple of cheapy boxes. Through the year, I brought Topps Chrome, Stadium Chrome. I did a couple of breaks, got fuck all. Breaks is another thing I don't really agree with. Whatnot, I really don't agree with. But I thought, let's give this a go. I've got the luxury. I'm not a fan of any particular club. I don't PC Arsenal. I don't only want Real Madrid cards. So if it plays good football, if they're a good player, I appreciate it. Be that Vinny Jr. when he's not crying off the ball. Be that Jude. Be that Haaland. Be that, obviously, Messi, Ronaldo. But, correct, you've got people like at Palace, the two young lads at Palace. They're just quality footballers. You know they're going to go on further. So I would collect anything. If I pulled any of them in a box, I'm not going to go, oh, I've pulled Heung-min Son. Oh, I'm an Arsenal fan. Can't have this in my collection. I'd keep it. I've got no problem. So in some ways, I've got more of a chance to hoard stuff because I don't have an allegiance to any particular team or player. And it was fun. It was enjoyable. And I cracked on for a good year. I bought quite a lot of stuff. Never pulled an amazing auto, but pulled a Paul Scholes. That was my era, Man United. It was cool. You send it off, you can get it graded. And I come back and I look, worth 40 quid. And the box it came out of was worth 160 quid. And that was to hit the box with 3 parallels. You get a rookie no one cares about, a player like Reino who's already failed, and then you get like an out of 199 Messi card. That's probably worth 20 quid. And there's no value in these boxes. It's all designed that you buy into breaks, you buy the spot of your team, and I don't have a team, so I'm not going to spend... God, it's not even that. You want the Man City spot, but you don't spend 300 quid for Man City. It's like 100 quid for Man City others, 40 quid for De Bruyne, 50 quid for Grealish, 100 quid for Alvarez, say, and it's like 400 quid for a Haaland spot. So even if like it's a case full of Man City cards come out, if you've only bought Alvarez, you might be stuck with 2 fucking cards, a base and like, oh, I got an out of 99. It's just all shit. And then that brings me on to like the next point, the one of ones. Obviously you're buying it, you're hoping, you're praying. Oh, I got the Messi 1 of 1, I got the Ronaldo 1 of 1, I got the Haaland 1 of 1. They're all going down. They've had their peak. In 50 years' time, will car prices from now be higher? Most likely, yes. But also in 50 years, we might be living in a digital world where cardboard is banned and they're completely worthless. So you can't just bank on keep it for loads and loads of time because then you're guaranteed to grow your collection. Like, if you had a Lampard card in his peak Chelsea season, say he's got 20 goals, and you're like, oh yeah, but this will go up over time, I guarantee that Lampard card now has gone down. It's completely different to Pokemon. If you pull a chase card of a Pokemon set now, if you're a sport person watching this and you're leaving a negative comments and you're telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. Leave your comments, I don't mind. But if you pulled it's called Moonbryon. I hate the card. It's an Umbreon on a spire, church spire, looking at the moon. It's called Moonbryon. If you pulled that card at release, you bought your box for 105, probably. They would probably knock them out at. You pulled that in your box. It was probably instantly a £200-300 card. It's now a £700 card raw. That's within 3 years. That card was going for, I'll say it in dollars. I hope that's not delivery for me. But say that card was going for $1,000 in a PSA 10. Over the space of a 2-week period, bang, it was $1,200. Over the space of a month period, bang, it was $1,500. It's going to hit $2,000. It's not slowing down. And you look at it, and people are like, oh, this can't be self-sufficient because there's already 10,000 PSA 10s of it. But Umbreon is a popular Pokemon. Umbreon, if Charizard is your Ronaldo, if Mewtwo is your Messi, you go through the better players, and Umbreon would be, say, your Bellingham. Let's just say that. He's always going to be popular. The thing is, they might put an Umbreon card in... They only do 4 sets a year. Umbreon might only be in 1 set this year. And in that set, he might have a chase card. And then next year, he's in another set. He might have a V card and a full art card. Nothing. On the 3rd year, he gets the Moonbryon like he's got now. So that's the card everyone wants. They know it's a popular Pokemon. They know they want it. And yeah, they print Pokemon cards into oblivion, but there's only 10,000 PSA 10 copies. I say only. The Pokemon games sell 20, 30, 40 million copies. So let's say only 1 million people also buy the cards. You've got 1 million people who would want that card chasing 10,000 copies of it. This is where you can see the value goes up. You also don't have... Umbreon was really promising at 17 and 18, and then he done his cruciate knee ligament. He was never the same player again. He was never a promising player at an English club, signed for Real Madrid for 200 million, and he beat up his girlfriend, and now he's like done some prison time. He's back. No one wants to touch him. It's just a Pokemon. It's safe. And this is the thing with sport cards. I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but an Umbreon card, only 4 sets per year. There's English, there's Japanese, primarily. people don't really do the other languages. If that's the card you want this year, you could go out at release and buy it for 300 quid in English, 300 quid in Japanese, and it's going to go up. It will go up. If it's a chase card, it will go up. Even if it dips to 150 over the next 6 months, 10 years' time, that will be a 2, 3, 4 grand card. And history proves this. If you go out today and brought your Garnacho 1 of 1 Black Shimmer, some bullshit card, and you'll go, oh yeah, I just paid 2 grand for that, I just paid £1,000 for that. Garnacho ain't going to be your next Messi. He ain't going to win every title, he ain't going to be a record breaker. Someone said it before, what if he's got the same career as like Angel Di Maria? Yeah, he wins trophies, but would you put Di Maria in the top 100 players? The top 500 players of all time? You wouldn't. So you're putting all that money in. If realistically, Man United next season finish 6th, following season they finish 4th, he gets sold, he goes to not a top tier team, not on Real Madrid, maybe ends up at like Bayern Munich. They might go on and win another 5 of the Farmers League. What's he going to get? 10 goals, 10 assists per season? There's no way that card, looking back in 20 years, 30 years, after his career's ended, is going to be worth anything. Like, any more than what you paid, I don't believe. And then, say you got that 1 of 1, Pokemon have 4 sets, and technically a holiday set, you could say, so probably 5 sets a year. You're going to have, say there's 5 main Tops releases, I don't know, Tops Gold, Tops Chrome, Tops Stadium Chrome. Christ, let's put in the international sets that they've done, and you've got your Sticker World as well. But then they're going to put out the Jose Mourinho set, the curated set. They're going to do another Bellingham curated set. Garnacho himself will probably get a curated set this year. I mean, Christ. There's all these sets that come out. And then you get all the Panini sets. And some of these Panini sets, I think someone said the other day that in one set of Panini, there were 8 1 of 1s in one set. So you adding this up and it's like, even conservatively, there were 20 sets this year with a 1 of 1 Garnacho. And then say he's 20. He's probably not even 20 yet, but say he's 20. Say he plays until he's 35. That's 15 years of 1 of 1s. If there's 20 per year, it's adding up. That's 300 1 of 1s. Why is your 1 of 1 that you pay $2.5 grand for going to be worth more than the 1 of 1 in the next set, the 1 of 1 in Panini set in 8 sets time, or the 2029 set? I just don't see where you're going to grow. And then you look at the out of 5, out of 10, out of 25, out of 50, out of 75, out of 99, out of 125, out of 150, out of 199. I think, doing the math on that, I think it was like, if you said it was from 199 down to 1, it puts it at 20 sets per year. So, again, I'm going on, say there's 5 international sets, 5 Panini sets, 5 top sets, and then 5 other curated sets. That's not including your Futera sets, that's not including your Leaf sets. Like, just say there's 20 sets per year. If you do 199 down to 1 in those increments, and you are the Haaland collector, there's over 14,000 Haaland cards numbered this year. It's fucking lunatic. And do you know 15,000 guaranteed people who want Haaland? Like, if you're a Man United fan, you don't want it. If you're an Arsenal fan, you don't want it. Whereas in Pokemon, as a Charizard, even if you always, I prefer Blastoise, you ain't going to say no to getting it. And it might be tempting to sell it and cash out, but you know if you hold that Charizard card for 5-10 years, it might 5-10x in price. I don't think the Haaland cards are going to do that. And it's like, so if you said 199 down to 1, that's about 14,000 cards in a season. And he goes on and has another 15 years in pro football. He does the whole, I can't run anymore, so let's go and play in America for 2 years and then do Saudi Arabia for another 3 years. Like, fuck me. 15,000. And if print runs keep rising like they are at this point, you're talking 14,000 cards this year, at a rough guess. 10 years of that is 140,000 numbered Haalands. 20 years of that is that right? Yeah, 14,000, 140,000 Haalands in 10 years. Say his career goes on for 20 years. 280,000 numbered Haaland cards. Each numbered Haaland card may as well be a base card at that point. I've come to the conclusion that it's an absolute waste of time. And I know there's a couple of people down low saying, no, you're wrong. But what worries me now is, even when Haaland's been and gone, is he going to be one of the GOATs of all time? Maybe, maybe not. Take a Messi now. Take all the numbered Messi cards in existence. Take all the one-of-one Messis in existence. Messi is safe, Ronaldo is safe. They will always be the greatest. But look at your Pelés and your Maradonas now. They're dead. You're still getting one-of-one patches, one-of-one autos, out of 5s, out of 10s, because they signed thousands and thousands and thousands of stickers. And they were signing... Say Maradona didn't sign anything in the last couple of years of his life due to health issues. Say the year before that, he went on one last final bender. He might not have signed anything in the last 3 years of his life, when the hobby was really starting to, right, autos this, autos that, let's kick this up a gear. The players now, though, everything is written in their contract. You've got fanatics literally own a part of the club or work with the club to get the kits. And they're all locked in. They are going to be signing non-stop. It's like, say there were 280,000 numbered cards of your chosen player in a 20-year career at current print rates. Well, with all this fanatic stuff kicking off and that, it's going to be fucking absurd. Now, I get it. If you buy the £3,000 box that comes in a suitcase, you only get 5 cards, and it looks lush. There's a piece of the actual badge. It looks better, don't get me wrong. But even that set, if Panini do that set, and Topps do that set, there's only 2 sets a year, but every year you get 2 Haaland badges with an auto. And you're going to get 3 years at, say, Borussia Dortmund, 5 years at Man City, 5 years at Barcelona, 5 years at Bayern Munich. There's still multiple badge and auto cards. How do you decide which is worth the most? At that point, are the badges even from the real kits? We've had this issue, the patch cards in so many of these sets are utter fucking bullshit. I think there's so much wrong with it that I'm in no financial position to be doing football and Pokemon anymore. Pokemon is safer, Pokemon's what I know. But I've just come to the conclusion that unless every street has 5 collectors on it, and it literally becomes the norm that in a school playground, in a class of 30 kids, 10, 15 of them are collecting, I just don't think there's anywhere this is going to grow. Because it's the same people at the shows all the time. It's the same big buyers going, I've got 20 Messis, I've got 10 Pelés. And it's good for you, mate. You had a good job. You were paid 80, 100, 150 grand a year. And now you're at retirement age and you can spunk it all up the wall on some cardboard. But just because you can go out and buy 10 of the best signed Messi cards this year, and it's you can spend 50 grand, 60 grand, because you're only paying at 60% comp because poor people like me have cashed one out. Who are you selling it to? You're selling it to the other bloke opposite the end of the room, who is a Messi collector, and he's already got 10. He's aiming to get another 10 this year. There isn't the smaller market in it. If you're in it for the out of 25 cards, the out of 50 cards, why the fuck are you buying a Pedri out of 50 card when there's 20 sets? So to 50, 10 sets is 500, 1,000 cards this year, 1,000 cards next year, 1,000 cards last year, 1,000 cards the year before. Your out of 50s all look fucking shit. And this is what I'm saying. It's even the art style. Stadium Chrome does look better compared to normal Chrome, and Chrome looks better to paper stock that you get just, like I say, a Match Attacks or some shit like that. But it's always a man running, a man heading, a man kicking. There's never going to be that, wow, look at that, this is crazy. Your kabooms, your kaboom cards, your night moves, you could argue they're a bit more Pokemon style, like in the way that they just look that bit better. And that's the only stuff that I see any real potential of, if you've got the budget for, is like the kabooms and shit like that. Because there is that possibility that they bring out this new parallel and it is so crazy. And they're like, right, only 5 players are getting it and we're only doing 10 of them cards per year. And at that point, it's amazing. If you get one, you're laughing. But 99.9% of people who watch this video, even if there was 1 million viewers, only the 0.1% can afford that. Because they're going to be your 5 biggest players, numbered to 10, numbered to 1 with like a gold version. They're going to be 30, 40, 50, 60 grand cards. And such a low pool of people can buy them. They say like a rising tide raises all boats. I don't believe that any tide can be raised. Like, out of 50s, out of 75s, out of 99s, you see them all in penny boxes. I used to, when I first started, I was like, oh shit, I've got an out of 99 Messi. This is absolutely quality. Like, now, you put it on eBay, you might get 20 quid. After your fees, after you've shipped it, you might come out with like 15 quid for the best of the best Messi in a numbered card. Now, I've got news for you. If you pull a basic Charizard card, not a basic Charizard, but like a standard Charizard hit card, you're looking at 50 to 100 quid, depending if it's English or Japanese right now. You grade it, you're going 150, 300 immediately. Now imagine if in that entire print run, if they printed 5 million boxes of that Pokemon set, if they said there are 99 numbered Charizards in there. In fact, there's not just 99 numbered Charizards. There's 99 with a gold effect. There's 50 with a blue effect. There's 10 with a red effect. There's 5 with a black effect. And there's 1 with a gold effect. Could you imagine in that print run with Charizard what that would do to the collecting? Whereas in football, it means fuck all. Because that's the standard, it's like the standard becomes the boring, the worthless. When Magic came out and said, listen, there's 1 gold ring card for the Lord of the Rings set, Post Malone goes and buys it for $2-3 million. In your next Topps Chrome set, who's paying $3 million for Messi? In your next Prism set, who's paying $2-3 million for? No one. Because there's a Messi 1 of 1 in that set, and that set, and that set, and that set, and that set. There's 3 of them in that set. There's 4 of them in that set. They've just done a Barcelona team set. There's 1 of them in there. Oh, they're going to do it in a Miami set. Oh, there's 1 of them in there. They just don't seem to be worth anything, in my opinion. Like, if I had one, don't get me wrong, you think, oh, this is pretty cool. And I'm sure someone out there is going to go, well, I've got 15 and they're better than anything you own. It's like, yes, I'm sure they are cool, but now you drop dead and get an easy sale, like your wife try and get an easy sale, everyone's going to be lowballing. Like, if you leave a note saying this is worth $5,000, she ain't got hope of selling that car for $5,000, unless she speaks to one of the buddies in your little cool gang who's got the same, like, collection goal. If you took it to the card show and it's like, right, we'll just sell it on the day, I reckon someone's going to drop you $2,000 on a Messi. Sure, but again, for that person, 10 years down the line, when Messi's now 68 and he's still been getting 1 of 1 cards and everything, is any of it gonna rise? I don't know. This is just, I've just done this video today purely and simply, 1, I'm bored, 2, I'm in a bad mood, and 3, I thought it'd be a little bit controversial. It'll be a little bit like, oh, you can't say that, you're fucking wrong, mate, or you daft cunt. That's the reactions that I'm expecting. But take a break, step back, think for yourself now. Say you're a 22-year-old grown man, and this year you're going to buy, trying to think, the average set is, say, 150 quid for a decent set. If you're going to buy 1 or 2 of each set, and you're going to enter some breaks, and you're going to go to a card show 3 times in a year, say, you could feasibly, without even going mad, you could probably, especially if you go in breaks, if you're in breaks, you are throwing money away like a motherfucker. But feasibly, if you bought 10 boxes, £1,050, if you chase down one good price card at 500, call that 1,500. Then if you entered some breaks, let's say 10 breaks at 30 quid a spot, that's another 300. You could easily this year, without even trying, spend £2,000 easy. And that's not a lot. Like, if you're full-time on a decent wage, you could multiply that by 5 easy, I'm sure. But you could spend £2,000 on cars this year. And looking back, if you, heaven forbid, you're now diagnosed with cancer, heaven forbid, your roof blows off in a tornado tomorrow morning, how much of your money are you going to get back by having some out of 25 Messi cars and that 1 out of 50 Haaland, and you've got like a sticker auto of a Maradona, but it's numbered to 199. I just wonder, like, the average person, if they actually took a step back and said, right, I need money to raise money, put my mum in a home, I need money for house repairs, I need money to have 6 months, that's all I've got left. How much are you going to get back on your collection? And it's funny because the argument, I will end with this, the argument is always, well, look at basketball. When Wembanyama came out and people are spending $300,000 for his rookie card, 1 of 1 immediately. And it's like, yeah, but in America, there are so many more people with so much money doing that. In the UK, we are a small little island. We are literally, if you take America as a person, we are America's fart. We are so insignificant. And unless you're one of these people who's going to the National and you're Johnny Big Bollocks, flaunting the cash, it doesn't matter what you spend at that point because you've got enough money that you can just have these items in a personal collection. And listen, if a bomb drops on your house tomorrow, you ain't going to miss them anyway. You ain't here. The collection's gone. Your family's already well off. If you're if you're an average collector thinking, right, I'm not going to invest in property, I'm just going to live at my mum's house until I'm 35, I'm not going to get a mortgage, I'll do that when I'm 40, I will have a massive collection. I think anything that you're buying in football cards now, unless it's the really, really high-end 2017 lower print stuff, say, I think it's going to all be fucking worthless. And I know worthless, you're thinking I mean absolutely zero. I've never mean zero, but compared to you thinking, if I go out tomorrow and spend... I went to the London Card Show in May. I spent £1,800 on this really nice numbered Messi card. But in 10 years, I'm going to sell that for £50,000. You're a fucking lunatic. I truly believe you're fucking mental. If that is your mentality, I think it's insane. Whereas if you went to that same card show and you had brought... God, it was only 2 or 3 months ago, the fucking Moonbury card I was talking about, it was 500 quid. If you'd have gone out and said, right, I'll do 3 of them in mint condition, 1 slightly played, they're now up to like 800 quid a card. You're already making money. If 3 of them graded 10, they're now up to like your £1,500 mark. So that's 4,500. Like, and over time, this is the thing, like, I've got cards that I've paid 40 quid for and are now worth £4,000 because it's Charizard, it's Pikachu, it's Japanese exclusive, it was lowish print. None of these football cards are really low print. They just have a different number on them. But then all of the sets add up, sets per year, sets after retirement. It completely dilutes everything. No one is going to have watched this video all the way through. You're going to have watched the first 5 minutes. You're going to have fast forwarded a minute. I'd genuinely like to know anyone who's watched this from start to finish, because I could write down numbers, I could like jazz this up, do some editing. It's not me. I'm not here to be a YouTuber. This is just my first ever thoughts video, and I've just come to the conclusion that football cards are an utter waste of time, unless you're collecting them just as enjoyment. And you're going to look back when you're 60 and go, oh, I remember that player in the 2019 season. Oh, I remember this player in 2027. He was really good. It's a shame about the leg injury. He's a what could have been. Unless you're going to look back at pure enjoyment. But if any of you are doing this, before we even talk about breaks and whatnots and stuff, just on an overall scale of where is this going, I think that unless you're getting 1950s Pelés or George Best rookie, and then newer sets make stuff like that popular, those stuff could take off. But if you've got any modern numbered signed football cards, I just don't think that they're going to grow at all like you think they're going to grow. And it's hard because I know, like, you've got enjoyment in this. We've all got enjoyment in this. We go to the shows, we meet people we've met online, we speak to companies who've helped us out. I'm not saying, like, completely stop it, but I am stopping the football side of it just because someone who's poor like me, I don't think you're ever going to come out better off than what you were when you went in. And especially if you're in the breaks and the whatnots and stuff, I think it's so fucking dangerous. And that's another video I could make called together. For instance, if anyone's got this far, I was watching a stream the other day and they actually got to the point of, oh, we shouldn't have done this before payday. Oh, we've done it a week early. I'll tell you what, everyone, use your credit card, buy now, pay later. In fact, use Klarna. You get 3 months to pay. How fucking scummy is that? Some of these breakers, some of these streamers, they are literally the scum on top of a pond. They are a shit that's floating in the top of the toilet. I might do a rant video into that next, but if anyone has sat there and listened to this, yes, it was rambly. I haven't got a script. Listen, I'm here. I've got a free day. Fuck it. I thought I'd make this. But I've sold all my sport card slabs. I've emptied my binders. I've put Pokemon in the binders. I've completely stopped sport. I just think it's taken me a year of enjoying it. Like, oh, Pokemon's a bit sour. The people in it are some arseholes. Let's try something new. And it's fun. I get it. It's fun. Every box you think, oh, what about this time? Every break, oh, maybe I can get something. But at the end of it, how many times have you entered a break or opened a box and been like, well, that was shit again. Fuck me. What a waste of money. And how many times this year is that going to happen? And then over the next few years, is that going to happen? Before you eventually look back, maybe you, like I say, you're this 22-year-old lad now, and suddenly in 10 years, you've got a girlfriend, you've got a house, you've bought your first proper new car, you've got a baby on the way, and you're sat there thinking, fucking hell, if I didn't do 10 years of that cardboard football cards, I could be in such a better financial position than I am right now. And that's the takeaway. Like, I don't care if you completely flat out disagree with me, if you share this and I get hate. I don't care. I mean, some of you know the cards that I take to card shows. If anyone's going to get hate, it's going to be me. I honestly could not give one iota of a fuck. But if this makes anyone wake up, or anyone's like, actually, yeah, I can see your point. Honestly, take that and run. Buy a piece a year as a treat on your birthday or Christmas. But if you're sinking money in monthly, and you're getting no returns, but you're just hoping that because you've got this 1 out of 5, I don't even know, not even a big player, but you've got this out of 5 Cole Palmer. He's the new kid on the block, isn't he? And you're thinking, well, if he carries on like this, Chelsea win the league in 2 years' time, and then maybe he goes to a Barcelona, he could be a great... Be honest with yourself now. It's Cole fucking Palmer. Is any of his cards ever going to be worth more than a... You've got an out of 5, but they're, like I say, there were 20 sets this year, there were 30 sets this year, they've all got out of 5 Cole Palmers in. Or you get a PSA 6 Pele rookie that's pop 6. You haven't got a chance if you're PC and Cole Palmer, or any of these players, in my opinion. I'm going to leave it there. It's a long video. It's going to get no views. If you listened, if you have an opinion, shoot it down below. I'll be interested to see. But it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of controversy. Let's have a bit of fun here. Fucking drop a comment. Let's see how we go. See you later, everyone, and goodbye.